Hi, it's Nick again with CU Imaging. Today I'd like to show you our wet scan system. This is an optional accessory for the Axion scanner that allows for precise application of fluid to the film during the scan. It features two medical-grade peristaltic pumps for precise control over the fluid flow rate, as well as the applicator assembly for transferring the fluid to the film. The applicator pads are a fine microfiber that won't scratch your film. So let's start with why you'd want to apply fluid to your film in the first place. As film is run through projectors, rewound, and handled in general, it tends to accumulate scratches in the base material of the film. When we scan the film, these scratches appear as dark lines in the image because of the way the light is scattered by the differently angled edges of the scratch. If we apply a fluid to the film, it will fill in those scratches, and if that fluid has a similar refractive index to the film's base material, the scratches will temporarily disappear from view as the light passes through the fluid looking like clean film base. Of course, the fluid doesn't repair the film, and the scratches will be visible once again after the film dries. The Axion scanner's wet scan module works with a wide variety of fluids, but of course there are factors to consider when deciding which to use. For many years, professional film labs and archives have used perchloroethylene, also known as PERC, for techniques like this because of how closely its refractive index matches that of film. However, it's largely being phased out in the industry due to concerns about its health effects. Today I'm using isopropyl alcohol, which also has a very good refractive index for this application. The higher the concentration, the better. Of course, isopropyl alcohol has its own safety considerations, such as flammability and vapor exposure, so proper precautions should be taken for appropriate ventilation and fire safety planning. Different films, emulsions, color dyes, and magnetic soundtracks may respond differently to the scanning fluid, so always test before running the entire film. I can place the inlet hoses from the pump module directly into any bottle of fluid that I want to use for scanning. With my film already threaded in the scanner, I can install the applicator assembly into the film path right here before the gate. Since the applicator pads are completely dry to start with, I can use the prime top and prime bottom buttons here in AxionDirect to prime the scanning fluid into the pads. All of the controls for the wet scan module can be found in this panel here on the right-hand side of the AxionDirect window. I can adjust the fluid flow rate to the upper and lower applicator pads independently with the controls here, with a precision down to 1/100th of a milliliter per minute. I'll want to set my flow rate just enough to wet the film at my intended scan speed without too much excess dripping off. Any extra that does drip off the film is collected in this catch tray here under the applicator. Although isopropyl alcohol, like I'm using here, has low water content and dries quickly, I still want to avoid winding the film onto the take-up reel while it's wet. To help with this, there's a drying fan built into the front of the Axion scanner here just after the film gate. Like the pump controls, I can activate and adjust the speed of the fan from the control panel. For comparison, let's start by playing this section of the film without wet scanning. I'll play it at half speed so we can get a clearer look at the scratches. These dark vertical lines are scratches in the base of the film, whereas these lighter ones are emulsion scratches. Wet scanning can't hide emulsion scratches since they're parts of the actual image that have been lost, but let's look at what it can do about those base scratches. As expected, we still see the emulsion scratches, but the wear and scratches in the film base has become almost completely invisible. When I'm done scanning, I can use the retract fluid function to run the pumps in reverse and clear the remaining fluid from the lines in the pumps. Thanks for joining me once again for this look at the wet scan module. For more info about the Axion scanner, check out our website at cuimaging.com and stay tuned for more videos like this where we take a closer look at the features and functions of the scanner.